Hello students, let us take few more problems on moving charges and magnetism. Question number 21 is as follows. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a certain place is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla, and the direction of the field is from geographic south to the geographic north. A very long straight conductor is carrying a steady current of 1 ampere. What is the force per unit length on it when it is placed on a horizontal table, and the direction of the current is east to west in the first sub question and south to north in the second sub question. So now here we have, this is very similar to what we have on the surface of Earth. Okay, so assuming that this is the surface of Earth, part of surface that we have chosen, the big surface. Okay, should imagine, so this is the surface that we have chosen from the entire Earth. Okay, part of the surface. Now at this region it is given that the magnetic field is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. Okay, so if I say this is north, so this will be south, east, west. So at this point the magnetic field lines are directed from geographic south to geographic north, which means like this. So this is the direction of magnetic fields. Okay, and a very long straight conductor carrying a steady current of 1 ampere. Okay, so here on the surface we will keep a table. Okay, and on the table we will keep a long current carrying conductor. There are two directions in which we will keep the current carrying conductor. One is from east to west. So in the sub question A, in the first part of the question, we will keep the conductor like this. Okay, current will flow from east to west. And in the second sub question, the current will flow from south to north. Okay, clear with the visualization? So now we shall go for finding the force per unit length on this conductor that we have. Okay, sub question A, we will take the first sub question. So the conductor is kept from east to west. This is the direction of magnetic field, and this is the direction of length element or L, right? The force experienced by a current carrying conductor in the presence of external magnetic field is given by F is equal to I L B sine theta, right? So where I is the current through the conductor, L is the length of the conductor, B is the magnetic field in which the conductor is kept, and theta is the angle between magnetic field and the length element. So now what are the given data for sub question A? The given data for sub question A is current is 1 ampere. We don't know what is length. What we actually need to calculate here is again important one. We need to calculate force per unit length, which means F by L. This is what is necessary. F by L is equal to question mark. This is the asked quantity, force per unit length, not the complete force. So F by L is equal to question mark. Magnetic field at the point or in the region where the current carrying conductor is kept is also given. Magnetic field is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. And theta for sub question A is also given, which is 90 degree, isn't it? Because the current is flowing from east to west and the magnetic field is from south to north, and hence the angle between them is 90 degree, right? So simplifying all of them, substituting them, the force per unit length F by L becomes equal to, F by L is what we need. It is IB sine theta. What is I? 1 ampere. What is B? 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla into sine 90. Sine 90 is 1. So force per unit length will simply be 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. So this is the answer for first sub question. Very easy, right? Now moving ahead, Looking at the second sub question, we have the current flowing from south to north this time, right? So when we have the current flowing from south to north, the angle between length element, so which means that the conductor is kept in this direction itself, in the same direction of the magnetic field, right? So for second situation, theta is equal to 90 degree. Rest of the, sorry, not 90 degree, 0 degree. So theta is 0 degree, and rest of the terms are similar to that of the previous case. But this alone will decide the magnetic field. Yes, you are right. So the force per unit length F by L is equal to, write the formula once, I B sine theta. Theta is 0 degree, and hence F by L is equal to 0 Newton per meter. Okay. Yeah, here also the unit I took it as Tesla, it's not Tesla. Newton per meter, right? Force per unit length, Newton per meter. So here it is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Newton per meter in the first sub question, and it is 0 Newton per meter in the second sub question. So this is about 21st question. Okay, now the next question, 22nd, is as follows. A rectangular coil of sides 0.25 meter, 0.25 meter and 0.1 meter carrying a current 12 ampere is placed with its longer side parallel to the long straight conductor 0.02 meter apart, carrying a current of 20 ampere. Calculate the net force on the current loop. Okay, so now here what we have is a rectangular coil of side 0.25 meter and 0.1 meter. Okay, so and this coil, rectangular coil, is placed with its longer side parallel to a long straight conductor. So now we basically have two things here. One is a rectangular coil, okay, with how much? 12 ampere current flowing through it. Okay, 12 ampere, 12 ampere. Okay, 12 ampere current is flowing through this, placed with its longer side. So this is the longer side, 0.25 meter. Let me take this as the shorter one, 0.2, 0.1 meter. Okay, 0.25 meter longer side parallel to a long straight conductor. Excuse. Okay, parallel side with a long straight conductor 0.02 meter apart, which means, so we have a long straight conductor which is at a distance of 0.02 meter from one edge of the rectangle chosen, and that edge is the longer edge, which means this is 0.25 meter, right? What about this length? This length is 0.1 meter, right? From here to here. And now what we need to calculate is, and this is parallel to this, which means the direction of current would be the same as of this, the nearby end of the rectangular coil, and this long straight conductor carries a current of 20 ampere, right? So this is the given data. Okay, rectangular coil through which 12 ampere current is flowing, breadth of it is 0.1 meter, length is 0.25 meter, and in parallel with the length we have a straight current carrying conductor, a long current carrying conductor with 20 ampere current flowing through that. Okay, so now what we need to find is the net force on the current loop. Okay, net force on the current. So net force on the current loop is, net force is the vector sum of force on this part of the conductor and this part of the conductor, this and this. All the forces on different parts of the conductor or the coil has to be considered, and they shall be added vectorially to get the net force. So first of all, let me name it as ABCD. Okay, if I want to take the same as a preference, I'll take it as ABCD. Okay, so the current through them is, one is like this and the other is like this, right? Now this situation is very much similar to force experienced by or force experienced between two current carrying conductors, right? So here we have we should first get the force experienced by the part AB of the coil, okay, part AB of the rectangular coil due to the long conductor, and then part DC of the coil, the force experienced by part DC of the coil due to the conductor. Okay, so now we shall see what is the force experienced by part AB of the conductor due to the long straight conductor. So first, let me write it. Force experienced by part AB due to long straight conductor is as follows. Okay, I hope you can see that. Okay, so the force experienced by force between two parallel or anti-parallel conductors. Okay, force between two current carrying conductors is, the formula for that is given by F is equal to mu naught by 4 pi mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 L by D, right? So this is the formula for force experienced by two conductors carrying current. So if the currents are in the same direction, okay, we will come for the direction later. First, let me get the magnitude of force experienced by part AB. Okay, so this is the magnitude of force, which is 10 to the power of minus 7 into 2. I1 is current through part AB, which is 12 ampere. I2 is current through the long conductor, which is 20 ampere. Length chosen is equal to length of AB. Okay, so from here to here, this is the length which is experiencing the force. So length is this one, okay, 0.25 meter. 0.25 meter divided by distance between the conductor AB and the long conductor, which is this distance, simply 0.02 meter, right? You can take the given factors. I1 current through this part is 12 ampere. I2 current through the long conductor is 20 ampere, and the gap between them, okay, the distance between them is D1 or D simply, which is 0.02 meter, right? And length chosen for the force is 0.25 meter, which is the length of the conductor AB. Okay, so simplify this using the calculator, and hence you will get the force is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. Okay, yeah. So this is the force experienced by the part AB due to the long conductor. And similarly, we shall work for the force experienced by part DC or CD due to the long current carrying conductor. Okay, let us work for that and get the force experienced by part DC due to the long conductor. I'll make few changes here itself. I've just replaced AB by DC here, and we have all these things with, now as you can observe, F is mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 L by D. The same formula is retained. I1 is 12 ampere even now. I2 is 20. The same 12 ampere in part DC, 20 in the long conductor. And the distance of separation is not 0.02 this time. Okay, the distance of separation is 0.1 plus 0.02, which is 0.12 meter, right? Because this time we are finding the force experienced by this DC due to this long conductor. Okay, part DC due to the long conductor, and the distance is this much this time. So, and length is same, 0.25 meter. This is the length and this is the distance of separation. Should remember the formula of for uh, force between two parallel conductors. There we obtained the formula for force per unit length, right? F by L, which was mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by D. That D is the perpendicular distance of separation, right? So which itself is this. Now we have somewhat like three conductors, 1 2 3. Okay, first we obtained the force between 1 and 2, then we obtained the force between 1 and 3. These 2 and 3 belongs to the same system, and hence we get the net force on this system by obtaining the force on individual of them. Okay, just vector sum will do, right? So it is, instead of 0.02 it is 0.12 meter, and that's it. After simplifying, you'll get the force as simply 10 to the power of minus 4, or 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Okay, so F is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton, or I can name this as FDC, force experienced by part DC. Similarly, force experienced by part AB that we obtained, what was that equal to? Force experienced by part AB that we obtained is uh, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton, right? Right. These are the important things for the further simplification. Okay. After getting the force experienced by both the parts, now we shall see the net force experienced. See, uh, these two currents are parallel, means current in AB and the long conductor, they are in the same direction, which means they are like currents, right? And we all know that like currents always attract each other and unlike currents repel each other. So this part AB will experience a force in this direction. So the direction of FAB will be like this, right? So direction of force on AB is towards the long conductor, because uh, they are like currents and they attract. But when I take DC, DC and the long conductor, okay, DC and the long conductor are anti-parallel, or in other words, we call that as unlike currents, and unlike currents always repel each other, right? So due to the repulsion, this DC part will experience an outward force like this. So this is the direction of FDC. Okay, so now this system is experiencing certain force FAB in this direction and certain other force FDC in the opposite direction. Therefore, the net force, okay, the net force on the coil ABCD, net force on the coil ABCD is F is equal to, see, it's exactly opposite forces, which means I can take FAB minus FTC, right? Opposite forces. What is FAB? FAB is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 minus DC is FDC is 10 to the power of minus 4 simply, which will be 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. Okay, so this much of force is experienced by the coil as a whole. Okay, So the entire coil experiences this much of force, 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. Clear? So this is the solution for 22nd problem. So the next question at 23rd is as follows. A current carrying loop of area 20 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters squared carrying a current 0.2 ampere is placed at an angle of 60 degree with the magnetic field of strength 4 into 10 to the power of minus 2 Tesla. Calculate the torque exerted on it. So now what we have is a current loop. The shape of the current loop is not mentioned, so we can take it as a circular current loop as it's as a given shape. Okay, we can consider it as such. So let me take this as the current loop given, and we have current through the current loop given, which is 0.2 ampere, and the area of the loop is also given. Area of the loop given is A is equal to 20 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters square. And this current loop is placed in the external magnetic field such that the angle of 60 degrees made with the magnetic field. So if I take the magnetic field like this, the magnetic field will make an angle of 60 degree with the coil like this, with the plane of the coil. Okay, it should have mentioned actually properly, with the plane of the angle of 60 degree. The plane of the coil makes the angle of 60 degree with the magnetic field. Okay, you can imagine it as such. So now the external magnetic field in which it is kept, B, is also given, which is the value of B given is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 2 Tesla, right? And theta. Okay, what is theta actually? Okay, first before that, what is asked to find? The total torque on the current loop is asked to find. Tau is equal to question mark. The formula of tau says tau is equal to m cross b. Magnitude is mb sine theta, right? So theta is the angle between m and b. What is m? M is I into A, right? Current into area. Current is 0.2 into area is 20 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So magnitude of magnetic dipole moment will be 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 ampere meter squared. Okay, this is m. And now look at the formula. Both m and a will have the same direction. So direction of A is like this. Okay, since we have chosen it like this, the direction of A will be normal to the plane of the coil, right? Like this. So this normal, uh, since this the angle made by the plane, okay, angle made by the plane with the magnetic field, this angle is 60 degree, right? So this normal will now make an angle of 30 degree with the magnetic field, right? Yeah, that's not a problem. You might say that this is the total angle, 60 plus 90, so which is 150. See, here the direction of current is not particularly mentioned, so I can when I reverse the current, I can get the area like this in the opposite direction, right? So there the angle would be 30 degree. Or even if you directly consider the angle between the area and the magnetic field as this whole angle, which will be how much is that? 60 plus 90, 150 degree, right? Even if we consider that sine of 180 minus 30, we can apply and we'll be still left with sine 30 itself. Okay, So don't need to bother about it. So even if you take 30 degree or 150, that will not affect the value of torque experienced. Okay. Finally, you should have the idea of the angle made by the magnetic field with the plane of the coil is given, which is 60 degree. Okay. But what we need is angle made by the uh, angle between the area of the loop and the magnetic field. Okay. And the area's direction can be either like this or like this. If I take the area direction like this, the total angle will be 150 degree. If I take the direction of the area like this, I can decide, because the direction of current is not specified. Okay. So if I take it like this, that would be 30 degree, right? So whether it is 30 degree or 150 degree, finally it is going to be sine of 30 degree itself. Okay, so no need to bother about theta much. You can directly take it as 30 degree. Okay, even if you take 150, that's also fine. It will reduce to sine 30 itself. So sine 30 is preferable. You have the value of m, 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla, ampere meter square, and the magnetic field is also given 4 into 10 to the power of minus 2 Tesla into sine 30. Sine 30 is a half. So torque experienced by it is 4 into 28 into 10 to the power of minus 6 Newton meter. 8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 Newton meter is the total torque experienced by the given current loop. Okay. Right. The next question, 24th, is as follows. A circular coil of 30 turns and radius 8 centimeter carrying a current of 6 ampere is suspended vertically in a uniform horizontal magnetic field of magnitude 1.0 Tesla or 1 Tesla. The field lines makes an angle of 60 degree with the normal to the coil. Calculate the magnitude of the counter torque that must be applied to prevent the coil from turning. So now here we have a situation where we have a current carrying loop again with 30 turns this time, and this current carrying loop can rotate upon the application of torque. An external magnetic field can produce the torque, and hence it can rotate. And in order to avoid this rotation, we have to apply counter torque. So if the magnitude of counter torque that we apply is equal to the torque produced due to the magnetic field, then we can avoid the turning effect, which means now we need to apply the same amount of torque produced by the external magnetic field but in the opposite direction. Okay, so now we are going to apply the same amount of torque, and hence if we get the amount of torque experienced by that current carrying coil, that would be enough, right? So we should first we should get the value of torque experienced by this coil in the field. So now let me visualize the coil. So the coil is of 30 turns. Okay, so this is how we can imagine it. 30 turn, the coil of 30 turns. Okay, see, it is suspended vertically with a support. It is somewhat like this, suspended vertically, and the current of 6 ampere is flowing. I is equal to 6 ampere. Radius of the coil is also given. Okay, radius of the coil is 8 centimeter, 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, and it's suspended uniformly in a horizontal magnetic field. The magnetic field is horizontal like this. Okay, so the magnetic field is horizontal like this, and the coil can be like this, anyhow like this. Okay, um, somewhat like just yeah, here is how we can visualize it. Okay, so this, if I say this is the coil, okay, in a circular shape, the magnetic field lines are always set. They are like this, horizontal. But now in that magnetic field, this can be kept like this, like this, like this, like this. In every situation, it is hanging vertically itself, right? Like this, hanging vertically, right? and now it can be either like this, okay, completely like this, or it can be like this, or it can be like this. So now what is given is, so the magnetic field lines are making an angle of 60 degree, okay, the field lines makes an angle of 60 degree with the normal to the coil. This time the normal to the coil can be somewhat like this in 3D. I'm just trying to represent, and the angle between them is 60 degree. See, normal of the coil itself is the direction of area of the coil, isn't it? Normal to the coil itself is the direction of area of the coil. So that itself will be our theta, because theta is the angle between A and B, area and magnetic field. So area has to be found because it's not directly given. Pi r squared, simplifying r will get the area, but theta is 60 degree this time. In the previous problem, theta was uh, not same as of the given, because there the plane of the coil was making certain angle. Okay, the field lines are making 60 degree with the plane of the coil. Okay, this time the field lines are making 60 degree, uh, right, 60 degree with the normal to the plane of the coil, which itself is the direction of area. Okay, should understand the difference. So here we have theta given, I, R, and tau is asked to find. So tau is equal to m cross b, mb sine theta. What is m? M in the previous formula I simply wrote m is equal to Ia. It is actually NIA, right? Number of turns into current into area of cross section. Simplify the terms. Number of turns is 30. Current through each turn is 6 ampere. Area, you take this pi r squared. Pi into uh, 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole squared. Okay, make use of calculator, get the value of m. Okay, so and so ampere meter squared. Okay, once you have the value of m, take that value of m, put that here into magnetic field is also given 1 Tesla. Okay, B is equal to 1 Tesla, that is also given, into 1 into sine 60. Simplify them. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So you put the value of m into this and get the value of torque experienced by this current carrying coil due to the external magnetic field in which it is kept. Clear? So this is about 24th question. We'll take a few more questions tomorrow in the next session. Thank you.